Hey, before this video begins, I just want to start off by saying, I'm sorry. Man, I said I would be getting videos out a whole lot faster, and honestly, real life just completely took over. But you know what? Here's episode 3. It's all good. It's all done. I hope you enjoy it. Please watch till the end. Like, sub, and comment. Thank you. Fellas, we are back with Factorio episode 3. And oh boy, this episode is really stressful for me, at least at the beginning part. The biters are still a bit too strong for me to deal with, and I spent a good couple hours wasting time figuring out how I can get military science set up so that I can upgrade damage to my weapons and grenades before the biters get way too strong and make me have to restart the world. But right now we are getting ahead of ourselves. Let's first start off at the beginning. The main goal right now is to get military science so my weapons can be upgraded and capable of dealing with the everlasting threat of biters once more. But first, I need to add some essential automation to the bigger and better base so that I can get there. Like faster production of Assembler Mark II so I can start getting stuff assembled faster. Man, that didn't go right in my head. There's also automating electric mining drills so that I can start mining that bigger stone patch right next to my new iron patch because the starting stone patch is starting to run out and I don't like that. And it also is obviously going to be used for future ore patches down the line. And then I also remake red and green science so that it no longer uses the old ore patches because the old ore patches are essentially just gone at this point. Speaking of ore patches being gone, the starting stone patch is starting to go away and it is no longer capable of supporting my military science production. Lucky for me, like I said earlier, there is a stone patch right next to my iron outpost. As I was laying the blueprints to extend my defenses around the stone patch, I realized that I need a couple more things automated. I got to add in grenades for clearing out the biter nests, power poles to keep up with my power demand, and gun turrets for the extended defenses. And after automating all of that, something unfortunate and inevitable happened. Oh, that's fantastic. Honestly, I figured it was going to happen sooner or later because it's essentially a rite of passage for all who play Factorio. But when I took the iron train back to the base, I wasn't expecting this. I mean, honestly, why do trains take the fastest and most optimal route to destroy your vehicle and just straight up kill you? You know it's insane when the devs themselves have added an achievement for getting killed by a train. Anyway, it was at this point that things started to get stressful because I was in a bit of a limbo. See, military science takes 3 items to craft: grenades, red ammo, and walls. I have the grenades and red ammo set up and ready to go, but walls were a bit tricky for me at this point. The starting stone patch is pretty much all but gone, and the new stone patch is ready to go, but I can't turn it on just yet in fear of the pollution spreading to the nearby biter bases and constantly triggering more and more biter attacks. The reason why this is not good is because the ammo supply train is still hooked up to the old factory, so it only has about 1 or 2 more resupplies left before completely running out of materials to make more ammo. So I was in a big dilemma because I really needed to upgrade my damage so that I can go back to dealing with the biters myself. I took a bit of a break from playing so I could think about how I could go about this without wasting time and having the biters get stronger as obviously, like I said, just start thinking about it. And I'm a bit embarrassed to say I was thinking about it for a solid 1 to 2 hours. Honestly, I was just really overthinking it a lot. Funny enough, while I was stressing at the fact that biters might force me to start over, I was in a Discord call with a friend who was playing a relaxing game of Stardew Valley. I was stressing about biters, and she was leaning on her produce trying to get a wife. After thinking about how I can get military science set up and running, I've come up to the conclusion that I just have to hand feed in the walls to have just enough to upgrade my damage to my weapons. After getting the furnaces in place ready for the future stone to come, I went up to the old wall production and collected all the walls I can get my grubby little mitts on. To my surprise, there was actually quite a lot of walls. My friend must have put all of his spares in the chest when he was done building the defenses. Lucky for me, it is far more than enough to make the right amount of military science to upgrade my damage. While I was waiting for the research to finish up, I was setting up pump jacks and flamethrower turret production for when I go and harvest that sweet, sweet oil. Oil. Huh? Anyway. After setting up the rest of the defenses on the stone patch and hooking up the train station, the research on my weapon damage has been completed, so it was time to exact my revenge on that biter base from last video. This will get boring. Fast forward. Oh, too far. Ah, there we go. Okay, now that my revenge has been exacted, I can finish up the stone outpost. Is what I would say, but something happened while I was making the ammo resupply station. Holy! Oh, I swear if I didn't need these damn trains, that would have been the last straw. Anyway, I was able to rub my last 2 remaining brain cells together and got kind of an idea to deal with the other biter bases near the iron and stone outposts. To do that, though, I need to get a very, very, very precious American resource. Oil. Now this makes me extremely happy. Looking at your map, if you see a group of pink dots, that is where you'll be able to extract oil from. And you'll need this new item called pump jacks to gather it. However, gathering oil is a bit different from gathering regular ore patches. See, when hovering over the oil patch, you'll see it has a percentage instead of an actual count of how much is in the patch. That is because oil patches are unlimited. However, the more you extract over time, the slower it'll be, and it'll get to the point where it's insanely inefficient to gather from that spot. As for the percentage part, the higher it is, the longer it'll be before it becomes unbearably slow to gather from. Lucky for me, there's a second patch of oil very close, so I'll be good for a long while. And as of right now, this oil for me is needed to make flamethrower ammo. I hear that fire is very powerful against biters, so I thought I would give it a try. Spoiler alert, I just went back to using the car and grenades tactic. Anyway, using a chemical plant, I can pump the oil and combine it with steel to produce flamethrower ammo. I need to be careful though. There is a biter base extremely close to the oil patch I'm extracting from, and if I leave the pump jacks on for too long, it'll most definitely attract the biters and destroy the oil. 100% not foreshadowing. Lucky for me though, it doesn't really take much oil to make a lot of flamethrower ammo. Okay, now that we have some ammo created, let's get to killing some biters and see how good fire is. Huh. Look at that. In all honesty, the flamethrower is good. I just lack armor strong enough to outlast the biters. Well, until I get that, I guess it's back to the good old reliable. But in all seriousness, I do need to get rid of a lot of biter bases so that I can extract the oil with no interruptions. You know, I do love the fact that the enemies can get stronger along with you till the game really just can't compute it anymore. And my god, if it's not dealt with in a timely manner, they can and will get stronger than you and your defenses. And it just makes it really hard to the point where you gotta start over because it's dang near impossible to defend a behemoth biters with nothing. I quite like it since it keeps you on your toes and it's something you can't ignore. Okay, so after clearing out more biter bases so I can expand, it's about time I start the oil processing and oh boy, are liquids confusing. It took me a whole day in the creative world to get the hang of it, and I'm gonna try to explain it to the best of my ability here, but I apologize if I get stuff wrong. There are 2 types of oil processing: basic oil processing and advanced oil processing. Advanced is the better process, but I can't use it without blue science. However, blue science requires 3 things: engine units, red circuits, and sulfur. 2 of the items require oil processing, so we're stuck with basic for now. Luckily, you don't need a big setup for 60 blue science a minute. 5 oil refineries is more than enough to get you to advanced oil processing. So with the basic oil processing, all we have to do now is just pump in the oil into the refineries and out comes the petroleum. This resource is key for both sulfur and plastic production. Sulfur is directly used for blue science production, but plastic is needed to make red circuits. And red circuits are a whole other can of worms for myself. It took me a hot minute in the creative world to make a good tileable blueprint. There we go. That was the word. I'm sorry. I've come up with the conclusion that 1 assembler making wire is enough to feed 6 assemblers making red circuits. With that knowledge, I decided to have plastic and green circuits share a belt and copper plates and wire share a belt with this type of a design. This is a design I can scale infinitely as long as I have the other items to keep up with the demand. Now it's time to go back and make the blue science production. Blue science requires 3 things to make: engines, red circuits, and sulfur. We have the red circuits and sulfur, we just need to have enough engine production to make the 60 blue science per minute, which is about 14 assemblers. Not bad really, but the problem is, how can I make it look good and how can I probably belt them into the blue science assemblers? And in all honesty, I struggled for a hot minute. The belt work is really not my strong suit for this game. To be fair, I haven't even beaten the game yet, but eventually I get there and the sweet, sweet blue science is up and running. In all honesty, I didn't do much after making the blue science. I moved part of my southern wall to use for the new extended western wall to make room for my factory, and I even plan on using the old ammo resupply station and turning it into ammo restock station so that I can actually hook up the train to the new factory so it can supply ammo to everything else, because I was kind of lazy and didn't hook up the ammo resupply train to the new base. As I was building the new wall, I also noticed that some new biter bases made their way close to my base, and in fighting these bases, it's starting to get to the point where my car doesn't have the defensive capabilities to survive long now. Next time I play, I have to get advanced oil processing up and running so I can make stronger armor and weapons to better fight the biters. So for now, all that's left for me to do is essentially just leave reminders for what I have to build next time. Oh, you sons of bitches. They're touching my oil. Apparently, the biters expanded back to a spot I cleared out and snuffed my oil. Now it's war. You don't go touching Americans' oil. When I get advanced oil processing up and running, it's time to craft the tank. I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. And that means you are worthy enough to hear this special little announcement. I have been thinking about streaming Factorio over on Twitch. And not just Factorio, but other games as well. Because there's a bunch of other games that I wanted to play and also put on the YouTube channel. So I thought, why not stream it? And then I can just edit it and turn it into a video and get more content out of it, you know? Because that sounds like a lot of fun. So let me know down in the comments below if you think that'll be a good idea and that's something you want to watch. And then as well, in the description will be my Twitch. So if you truly do want to watch it, go to my Twitch and give it a follow. And once more, I apologize for this video taking so long. And I truly hope I don't jinx myself when I say this time, but I will try to get videos out faster, all right? And once more, like, sub, and comment. Thank you.